Hey everybody, welcome back to the comment section. It's week 15 in the NFL going on right now. We're coming at you Sunday night. And if you listen to the last podcast, you know you got a happy Bobby fever on your hands right now. Eagles are up late in the third quarter, 23-13. We're going to be watching the end of this live with you as we record the podcast. I got it on my computer. Poker guy, you got it on your computer. How you doing out there on the East Coast, brother?
I'm good. I'm just a little uncomfortable because I can hear that you have like a boner or something. I can feel or hear the digital boner that you have going on because goddamn, you are in a good mood, brother. You're in a good mood.
I'm not an Eagles fan, but I'm a Nick Foles fan, motherfuckers. And 23-13, and I am in this thing deep. I went on full tilt. I am heavy on the Eagles. I bought myself 1.5 to get to tease them up or to kind of move them up to 14.5 points. You never know how this is going to go. I got money on the money line, and I am heavy on the Eagles plus 14.5. Yeah, fucking Goff just fell down like a moron on third. Get it, baby. Oh, turnover. Yes. All right, turnover by Goff. All right, 2:12 left in the third. Oh, good Lord. Take the group photo, everybody. Take the group photo. It's played out when anybody but the team that you got money on does it. But, ooh, all right. We're going to try and keep that in the background. But holy shit, I'm feeling good right now because, I mean, I had a hot start on Saturday.
We're going to upload those 30 seconds of audio to Pornhub and then see how many hits we get.
Keyboard's getting sticky right now. I have to fucking change computers here. But let's go ahead. Let's start going through some of these games. Big game in the afternoon, playoff implications, game of the week. Also, Scott Hansen. Fucking A, dude. There were only 2 games in the late session of Red Zone today. That was brutal. Particularly if you were an individual like me who had a heavy amount of money on the Seahawks given for. Apparently Vegas knew a little better than I did on that. I thought, hey man, 8-6 Seahawks at the 3-10 Niners. That's a gimme, right? Well, we'll get to that here in a little while. Not so much, but Pats at the Steelers. Pats are notorious for giving the Steelers just a substantial ass whooping every time they meet. We were joking earlier they got to rename that field from Heinzfeld to Brady Field or Belichick Field. Well, hold up on the name change because Pats fall to 9-5. Steelers move to 8-5-1. 17-10. Steelers take this game. If you're a Pats fan, you got to be getting worried right about now.
Why? You're not worried. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to get into the playoffs and you're going to beat, whoever. You're going to beat the AFC South team and then you're going to have a playoff push. This game means nothing. This game means absolutely nothing. I didn't watch this game either, but I was going through the section, and a lot of people are happy about the Pats losing. There's a lot of Pats haters out there. You and me, I think we're in that, but we do like Bill Belichick and that type of shit. I did see one comment that was really funny, and I had to bring it up because I don't understand it, but I'm going to repeat it. Gronk the type of dude to fart in the toilet and then flush. I don't know what that means.
What does that even mean?
But I liked it. I don't know. I don't get it, but it's a good
Smallwood touchdown. Eagles up 17. Oh, good Lord. We're feeling good out here on the West Coast, on the East Coast, wherever you're at. We're feeling good if you got money on the Eagles tonight. And if you're a Foles believer. Fuck yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next game. It's tough times. Well, tough times for Steelers fans. Even tougher times for Cowboys fans. Skip Bayless, he lost his shit on Twitter. We'll get into that here in a second. Cowboys shut out. They haven't been shut out since Bill Parcells was the coach of their team back, I think, in 2002. 23-0. The Colts go into Dallas. They beat them, shut them out. Dak Prescott was fucking terrible. It's the Dak Prescott that we're all used to. And Skip Bayless absolutely lost his mind on Twitter today. And I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite Skip Bayless tweets. And one of the things that he pointed out is one of the things that you and I have been talking about for quite a while. So Skip says, Jason Garrett wore a nauseating smile as he shook hands with various Colts. He's a smiling, feel-good robot. Nothing is ever wrong. Smile and clap. Smile and clap. I was like, dude, everybody knows that. Like, that's Jason Garrett. That's why they call him the Clapper. And that's why, hey, they're never going to win a Super Bowl with that guy as a head coach.
Look at all these drunk Philly fans on TV. Are you watching
Oh,
this shit?
yeah.
They are
Jeffrey Lurie with his
fucked up
shit-eating
right
grin.
now,
Hey, they're
dude.
coming for you, man. They believe in Philly again. How many Super Bowls has Carson Wentz won? Fucking 0. They got the Super Bowl MVP back. Hey, maybe they brought him in a little earlier in the year. They wouldn't be in this situation instead of having a dude with a broken back quarterback in their team. So, hey, we got a ways to go here. Rams supposedly have a high-powered offense, or at least they used to. I guess some of the dick sucking on
Todd
Sean
Gurley's
McVay, we're gonna have to take the knee pads off, stand up, and quit doing that for a while because they are not moving the ball very well these days.
Yeah, but they're not really trying hard right now. This isn't a must win for them. You know what I mean? And then, Todd Gurley's foot itches. Jared Goff's elbow is itchy. So they're not really trying too hard. This is an easy one for the Eagles, but they are getting their asses kicked.
They're getting their asses kicked. Not as bad as the Cowboys did, though. So, that moves the Cowboys back. If the Cowboys lose out, which, I don't know what their schedule is, but if they lose out, the Eagles can still win this division. And they got an outside chance if they're able to win these last two, which why wouldn't they with BDN? Oh, almost got a fucking pick there. Which they can with old Nick playing. Hey, we could be in for some more magic, a little more Philly, and get another parade going on in Philadelphia.
What are we doing with Jason Garrett now? Are we putting him on the hot seat? How does this guy keep his job? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think that they're going to, they'll probably still make the playoffs. What do they got here? Let's check their schedule real quick. They got Tampa Bay and the Giants, so that's a favorable schedule down the stretch. You got famous Jameis.
That's the Cowboys schedule or the Eagles
That's
schedule?
The Cowboys schedule. So you got famous Jameis and the ghost of Eli Manning as your two opposing quarterbacks. For those of you that were believing in Eli Manning for that very brief period of time, welcome back to reality, motherfuckers, because he's still done. He is still very much
He was looking
done.
mega noodly today. Yeah. That was a, mega noodle.
Get that dude out of the pot, man. That fucking noodle arm was just out of control. Out of control today.
Overcooked. Way too much water, not enough salt. That's really what it is.
Yeah, you're not getting that extra flavor by leaving them in the pot longer, people. You got to salt that shit up. That's how you get that extra flavor. But let's go ahead. Let's go through some more games. The Washington R-Words, now 16-13. They went in. They beat the Jaguars. Jaguars fall to 4-10. They are officially done with having any semblance of pride in their lives. They're not even fucking trying anymore. They've quit. They've quit on Doug Marrone. They've quit on Tom Coughlin. It's been like a month since Doug Marrone has had any lunch meat. You can see it wearing on him. You can see him losing weight. He's got jars of mayonnaise that are expiring in his fridge because he can't get to that shit. And it's tough times down there in Jacksonville. Oh, and by the way, you guys still live in Jacksonville too, which is, my understanding, you're a Florida native. My understanding, it is the armpit of Florida.
There's a lot of armpits in Florida. There's like 8 or 9 armpits. But yeah, Jacksonville is a steaming pile of fucking dog shit. Speaking of piles of dog shit, we thought the Redskins were flaming bags of dog shit. But boy, did we make a mistake last week. We should never underestimate the Jaguars. They exceeded our expectations this week when it comes to out dog shitting other teams. Congratulations, Jacksonville. Enjoy the rebuild. And if anybody is wondering, I was driving on I-95 today here in Florida, and I'm like 80 to 90% sure that I saw Blake Bortles setting up road barricades. Okay, so he's done. They're done with him. He's out working like the common man.
Maybe that was Blake Bortles' brother. Remember how we were talking about how Sean Payton has a brother that sells like water beds to Joe Flacco somewhere in New Jersey? But maybe that's Blake Bortles' brother. He may have.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He may have. I
wouldn't be surprised.
A common man brother. But I will say, I don't think. Here's the thing about Blake Bortles is, he's actually a really likable guy. Like, that's the shame of it. Is like if you wanted somebody to root for, he's a really good guy. He's just a really bad quarterback. So there's really nothing.
Yeah, it's like I want to drink. I want to drink Coors with him and do illicit drugs, but I don't want him quarterbacking my fucking team.
Yeah, Blake, I'd love to eat a bag of magic mushrooms with you, but please don't take the field at any point for my favorite football team. I don't want you to do that. Put the tarps
Hey,
back up.
London, you can fucking keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah, put the tarps
Put the
back up.
tarps back
Exactly.
up, Jacksonville. It was a nice 3 weeks of not having them there, but it's another tarp season for you next year. All the fucking juice coming out of them. Here's the other thing, too. So when we did the pod before, I was on the Dolphins to cover that. If you faded me, good on you.
Amazing.
But I read a stat this morning where I decided that I needed to fade myself. And I ended up just staying off of the game, keeping off of the game. But there's a stat out there where every team this year that has beaten the Patriots, the next week they've come back and they've gotten their asses kicked. So I saw that and I was like, wait a minute, we got that, and we got the bad dude from Ghost coaching the team, and we got Ryan Tannehill. I was like, I don't know about that. Turns out it was good to stay off of it. Dolphins went up to Minnesota and got their asses kicked 41-17. Vikings moved to 7-6-1. Oh, Sean McVay, that big punt did not work out, brother. That shit hit the ground. It has been confirmed. BDN's got the ball deep. Of course he's got it deep. Where else would Nick have it? Deep in LA Rams territory. Dolphins fall to 7-7. And I think it's pretty much over for the Dolphins. I don't see how they get into the playoffs at this point. They're not going to challenge the Patriots for the division. The Patriots got to win a game at some point to
No, they don't. They'll be fine. They're going to be in the playoffs. No, they're who is the competition? The Dolphins? Aren't the Dolphins like 6-9 at this point?
They're 7-7. But they've got Jacksonville, who we just talked about. They're done. They've completely given up. And they've got the Buffalo Bills. Jaheem Allen had a pretty good day today, as far as I can tell, running the ball. But that's the best, man. Fucking Jaheem. So Jaheem actually beat Matt Patricia. We'll get to him here in a minute. But, Vikings, Mike Zimmer, hey, congratulations, all small animals on the road. You're gonna get a free swerve this week, because Mike, number one, is going to be able to see because he's not enraged with one of his eyeballs popping out of his head. And he's also not rage-filled trying to fucking run your ass over on his way home. So
it's a crazy stat, man. You're talking crazy stats. Tannehill got sacked 9 times today, and they pretty much got dropped for 75 yards. So that's pretty terrible. Their O-line has been shit for years. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure we gave these assholes the shovel like 3-4 weeks ago. So fuck you, Dolphins. But more so, fuck you, the Vikings, though. I cannot fucking stand that Vuvuzela skull horn thing. First down. Reception. Skull horn. Literally anything. I don't know, man. That shit is annoying as fuck. And I don't know if I'm the only one that can hear that thing, but that shit hurts my eardrums. And I want you guys to stop.
It's the most annoying thing that happens.
It's stupid.
Like that happens in NFL football. It's not Mississippi State cowbell annoying. Fuck those people, man. Like, seriously, I love every time they get their asses kicked to the tune of whatever they're playing with those cowbells. It's like, dude, no, put them away.
The Florida State
tomahawk chop.
Florida State.
That's cultural appropriation. They deserve everything they get for that, man. Just celebrating.
Yeah, not when it's all like your cousins are the one doing it. It's like your fucking cousins are the ones doing it.
Just a bunch of white people fucking posting racist shit about Willie Taggart. That's pretty much every Florida State fan. So we're gonna let one guy's misdeeds paint, a picture of everybody that cheers for that entire franchise. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, but dude, I live in Florida, so we're pretty accurate. As a Florida man myself, it's pretty accurate. I mean, I won't even go into it, but I've been to Florida games where, like, I was sitting in the alumni section, and like, I don't know, you might want to cut this out of the pod at some point, but remember Chris Leak? We had this quarterback, Chris Leak, and he wasn't very good. And I was sitting behind these like, people that look like you with, cowboy hats on, or not cowboy hats, but the baseball hats with like the flag that has the blue line in it, because you love America.
Yeah, because you're showing your patriotism by chopping the flag up and wrapping it around your greasy head.
Right. Exactly. And so this guy, he's just like, fucking, and he just dropped the N-bomb. Like, everybody around me was like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And I'm sitting there, I'm like borderline fucking Mexican. I'm like at the time I was dating this girl.
Hey, what Asian country are you from? I'm not Asian, goddammit.
Yeah. I'm not Asian. It's all right, fellas. He's a Chinaman. It's all right. He's a Chinaman, so it's all right. But I was nervous. I was like, hey, babe, we got to go. Luckily, at the time, my girlfriend, she had blonde hair, blue eyes, so They probably thought I was an Italian or some shit.
Okay, yeah. Just start screaming, "Arrivederci!" Like,
Arrivederci!
baby, let's go get some
Or
pizza
like,
with some fresh mozzarella when we leave here.
What's that Inglorious Bastards when Brad Pitt, he's like, he's the cameraman and he's an Italian cameraman. He speaks no German.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I know
talking
what you're
about?
talking
That
about.
Quentin Tarantino
I've
movie?
seen that
Yeah.
movie with the terrifying
Yeah.
Christopher Waltz as a Nazi, and there's a bunch of interesting things
Excellent
that go on
Nazi.
there.
All right, let's stop talking about fucking Dolphins.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Titans.
Titans
Giants.
and Giants, yet another NFC East competitor, completely shut out today. Titans go to 8-6. Giants fall to 5-9. 17-0 is the final on that one. Eli Manning, a pathetic 229 yards passing, plus an interception. I'll say this, though. Marcus Mariota, 88 yards passing. This is a Derrick Henry show.
I don't know.
Another 170 yards on the ground. If you had the balls to play him again in your fantasy league, I'm not playing fantasy, but I think today would be the semifinals for those that are. He just put up another big one for you. What's that? What's that?
Oh, no, Nicky, no.
Oh, no, your feet is
no.
ahead of mine. Oh, no, Nick. Nick, why'd you do that? Oh, God damn it. God damn it, Nick. So that's a turnover in the red zone. He gave it back to him.
It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I want to see this pass.
I mean, hey, I'm not worried about. I mean, I'm coming out of this thing good either way. But I would really like for them to win this game for so many reasons.
That was a terrible pass. That was a fucking terrible pass. Fuck you, Nick Foles.
Yeah, you got to read the defense.
Who's he doing? This is a terrible pass.
Yeah. Hey, he's gonna do that when you're.
It's all right. You're still gonna win money.
Hey,
You're still gonna win money
Brett
today.
Brett Favre threw a lot of interceptions too, and he loved to tweet out pictures of his modest penis to reporters. So Nick's got one up on him there. He's a solid family man who will not tweet out pictures of his enormous unit to anybody.
He's a good Christian. He's a good Christian. Okay, he's a good Christian.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and move on here. Cardinals at the Falcons. 14-40 is the final on this one. The Falcons steamrolled the Cardinals. I tried to convince I almost pulled the trigger on putting some money on the Falcons here. I would have come on the right side of it, but I couldn't. I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
You can't do it.
Otherwise, I'm going to be feeling terrible. They're on double secret probation. I can't trust them. But Josh Rosen, he's got all the dynamic. He is not dynamic. There's nothing good about him. If you are looking at the worst quarterbacks so far, I mean, you got Rosen and you got Jaheem Allen, but at least Jaheem Allen can run the ball. And Rosen,
Jaheim's been good though. Jaheim's been good.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that. That is strong nomenclature to describe Jaheim. But at least he can run the ball. Rosen has all the effective running, abilities of like a lampshade. So he's terrible there as well. He throws about as well as one. He's disgusting. Cardinals are disgusting. They are now like a sneaky favorite to possibly work their way into that number one pick. I mean, we got it's like the Raiders and the Cardinals at this point. If I'm looking at that, they're both 3-11, so they are both tied for that.
They need to fucking send them to Vegas, dude. They need to leave the Oakland Raiders alone. They need to talk to whoever the Cardinals owners are and take Phoenix and take the fucking Cardinals with you out of fucking Arizona, because both of those franchises are dog shit. They're absolute fucking trash. But going to the Falcons real quick, I don't understand how these guys lose games. You have fucking Julio Jones and Matt Ryan, and you guys still can't win games. I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
like it's
a sporadic performance like this that keeps you wanting to come back for him, because you see something like this and then it sticks in your head. You're like, man, that's got to be repeatable, but it's really not. Like it just simply isn't for whatever reason. What is repeatable though is every single Oakland Raiders terrible performance. Who'd have thought that this would ever happen in the history of the known universe? But Jeff Driscoll just quarterbacked an NFL win. I mean, did those words come out of my mouth? Joe Mixon beat up the competition, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. Derek Razor Scooter, another fucking horrific performance, unable to move the ball. Oakland, God damn it. When are you moving? When are you going to get to Las Vegas? So we've got something interesting to talk about. I mean, wins per Gruden, it's still stuck at what, $33.3 million. That's an expensive amount of money to pay to win a football game. Marvin Lewis, he's going to stick around for another week. And I mean, what a terrible football game. Terrible game.
I didn't really pay attention when this shit was on, but there's a video circulating. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a guy going full Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon, Taekwondo mode, and he's trying. It's like an Asian dude or a Mexican dude. It looks like one of my primos, honestly, but he's facing off this black dude, and this black dude is not in a good mood. I don't know what went down before the video started recording, but they are pissed. Okay, but he gets punched, and then he gets sucker punched, and then he gets dropped, and I thought that was pretty funny because it was like a classy moment. You know what I mean? Nobody got shot, nobody got stabbed, nobody was yelling "World Star." It was just classy Raiders fans, as per usual, kicking the shit out of each other.
If all you get is a broken jaw
morons.
and end up applesauce for about 2 weeks, I mean, that's about the best you can do ending up as an opposing fan at a Raiders game. I would never go as an opposing fan to a Raiders game. You're signing your own death warrant at that point. Like, if someone does that, like, that's the sort of thing that you do after you take out. Like, if your wife doesn't like you, what she does is she takes out a secret life insurance policy, and then she gives you 2 tickets to the Raiders game and puts you in, like, that fucking black pit area where people dress up in shoulder pads even though they don't play football, and they put spikes all over it. And they come from
styrofoam spike.
Yeah, and then they go to Comic-Con, and then they go to the Raiders game. And then it's like fucking ridiculous.
The real question here is, why the fuck does that guy have a Derek Carr jersey? You know what I mean? Like, isn't this the organization that clearly doesn't give a shit about its fans?
I think,
or better yet, like the NFL doesn't give a shit about this team not giving a shit about its fans. So it's like you giving your Panera paycheck to make Kylie Jenner the world's youngest billionaire. It's like the same shit you were talking about the other day. How can you support a team that very clearly doesn't give a fuck about anyone? I mean, you play on a fucking baseball field. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure that black dude who began the knockout process on that Asian guy was wearing a Khalil Mack jersey, if I remember correctly. So I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I'm pretty sure that guy was wearing one of those. That's kind of a backhanded slap at your own organization to wear one of those to the games. Lions at the Bills. Jaheem Allen led his team 14-13 over Matt Stafford and the Lions. I mean, God, I think Matt Patricia, he and that dude from Arizona, can't remember his name at the moment, but those two head coaches, they are on the hot seat after only a year. And you either need to win football games or you need to be more likable, Matt Patricia, because the fucking rope that you're going to hang yourself with is extended. It's around your neck, and putting up 0 points in the second half, not going to help you. Getting beat by the Bills, not going to help you. And I got to think that the clock's ticking for old Matty P already.
That's crazy. I disagree, but nothing really would surprise me. What surprises me more is that this guy has a job, but Dirk Cutter can't get a break, or Marvin Lewis is still in the, I don't know, man. These coaches, they must have insider information. I have no idea, but we did love the under bet here, and like every week we choose like 1 or 2 unders, and this was the under 13-14 with the Bills win, a nail biter, but a game that nobody, not even the players, gave a shit about, and that also includes me. I didn't give a fuck about this game, so let's move on.
Let's talk about to bigger and better things. Just kidding. Another horrible game. Bucks at the Ravens, 20-12. Ravens move to 8-6, stay in that wild card position, that number 6 spot in the wild card race. Joe Flacco, he was a healthy scratch. He was a healthy backup. Lots of postulating about where he ends up next year. It's like, oh, he's going to be one of the biggest free agent people to get talked about. But you got to ask yourself, what team is better off with Joe Flacco as his quarterback? When you got Lamar Jackson, who he did not look good. I mean, I don't know what he's basically, I don't know. You wanted to shit on the guy who's decided he should be a wide receiver, but I mean, fuck, dude, he cannot throw the ball. Like, he needs to figure that the fuck out.
I think it's just their planning. It's like they're just running. But at the end of the day, you talk shit about Lamar Jackson, but he's 4-1 as a starter, and he did almost beat the Chiefs. You know what I mean? So an interesting stat, though, is that they have 0 wins. And I mean, the Ravens have 0 wins against actual playoff teams. like real playoff teams, the ones that are slated to make the playoffs. Now they don't have any wins against them. So next week they have to play the Carson, California Chargers. So we're going to see how the Ravens do next week. But I do hope the Ravens make the playoffs for one reason and one reason only. I want to see RG3 2.0 2K18 redemption tour. That's all I fucking care about. That's it. I'm rooting for the Ravens from
Well,
here
but
on
here's
out.
the thing:
Speaking
we're
of,
not going to get any
I'm
more
rooting for
RG3 because Flacco's healthy again. You need a tremendous series of events to get any more RG3. So that's you're wishing against the grain.
in
There.
my in my MCU multiverse theory, it's a possibility. Okay, and I'm gonna keep writing RG3 fan fiction. Okay, I'm gonna keep writing it anonymously. All right, nobody can stop me.
Dude,
All
RG3
right,
is one of the people
not
that
you,
got.
Bobby.
He's one of the people that got snapped out by Thanos. Like he's not still there anymore. He's with Spider-Man and whoever else got destroyed there. I didn't get that whole thing, but then again, I don't watch that.
I didn't get it either.
I mean, I get it. I saw the movie, but like I said, I don't get that decision. But anyhow, I'll tell you what's not possible at this point is the Packers making the playoffs. They lost again today, 24-17. That was a nail biter at the end of that. Thank you, fucking Joe. Looks like a dolphin Philbin for going for that field goal at the end. So the Packers, they're down 10 very late in the game, and I had money on the Bears, so anybody who had money on the Bears biting their nails, I mean, there's no way the Packers are going to win that thing. But Rodgers is taking them down the field. Bears are 5.5 point favorites, depending where you got in on that thing. And if he scores a touchdown there, that's shit city. That's shit city. It's a backdoor bullshit cover. And thank God Joe Philbin, there's 24 seconds left. He made the right call there. I mean, whether you're a gambler, if you've got money on the Packers, you're pissed about that. But from a football perspective, it makes sense. I mean, you can't keep fucking running plays. You got to kick the field goal, try and get the onside kick and do a Hail Mary. So he actually made the right decision. But Mitch Trubisky, he was not good. That defense is carrying them.
He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad, though.
He was not good, though.
Trubisky wasn't bad. Two touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between not bad and not good. He's going to be the reason that they lose that playoff game.
He threw one less. I'll tell you what, man. I don't want you taking this personally, but he threw one less interception today than one Nicholas D. Was it D?
One
Nicholas D. Foles. Okay, he threw one less interception. So
that game's not over. The game's not over yet. He may be able to throw yet another interception. We don't know, or maybe throw another touchdown pass. We'll see how it goes. But
look at all the drunk Eagles fans. Look at them all. Look at these people.
They love it.
Look at these fucking people, man.
They love it.
They love it. They can't get enough. They love it.
Yeah, so the Chargers end up kicking a field goal there. 9:24 left in the fourth. Philly's up by 2 touchdowns. All the haters can shut the fuck up for right now. We'll see. We'll see. God, I hope there's not an epic collapse. I really hope there's not an epic collapse. An epic collapse in San Francisco. So this was my best bet of the week. One of my 2 best bets of the week. We're watching along with my other best bet. Was the Eagles plus 13 teased, or at least moved. Not really teased, but buying a point, moving them above 14. Seahawks laid a fucking turd. We should have seen. I mean, they always talk about these games where you're like, that's a funny line. Like, that's a really funny line. And I took the bait. I took the bait on it, man. I took the bait on it. I went big on the Seahawks. Russell Wilson fucked me over. God damn it. I can't believe that. I can't believe that happened. It was ridiculous. And when they got into overtime, Seahawks were +4 when I got on it. When they got into overtime, I thought, hey, now we got a chance here. Russell Wilson, because the Seahawks got the ball first in overtime. I thought, all right, here we go. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's get a fucking touchdown. Let's win by 6. Let's make me happy. And when they didn't score, if you're going to not cover the spread, I'm fucking rooting for you to lose. So fuck you, everyone up in Seattle. You laid a turd today. If you don't make the playoffs, you deserve it. You cannot go into a 3-10 team and walk out of there with the loss.
So I don't disagree with you at all. The Seahawks played like absolute crap, but this game wasn't about the Seahawks. It was about the refs fucking everybody in the mouth. For real, dude. 150 yards of penalties for the Hawks and then 60 yards for the Niners. Okay, so this is an excuse of a fucking game. Fuck the referees and fuck the NFL, because if you're watching this game, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on, man? This is so fucking rigged." If you ever thought NFL games were rigged, watch that game. Ridiculous pass interference calls, ridiculous holding calls. One sectioner with a nice jab to the refs and a skip. I thought this was a good one. Both teams played hard, but the refs just wanted it more at the time. I thought that was great. I thought that was a good one. If you guys haven't seen it, watch Mark Cuban rip on Skip Bayless. It's an awesome video. But this video was this game was fucking stupid, man. Like, this shit is unacceptable, and they really need to send a copy of this game to whoever the CBA people are or whoever the league people are. But I have a feeling that nothing's going to happen. So us as viewers, we get to see a shitty product, and people wonder why nobody likes the NFL anymore. It's because these games are unwatchable. It's like they're decided by the referees. So why the fuck am I watching them?
So Seahawks got fucked in the mouth, and while we're talking about people get fucked in the mouth, you were showing me a video earlier. It's on World Star Hip Hop. So have you seen this? Have you heard about this? So there's I'm going to describe the video to people. There's a guy in an alley. And whenever the story starts like that, it's never there's a guy in an alley reading a book, or there's a guy in an alley trying to put together a project to take to a homeless shelter and feed some people. There's a guy in an alley on, what do they call those things? Like, what the fuck are those things?
Hover round. They're hover rounds.
A hover round?
They're called hover rounds.
What's that?
They're for old people to pretty much buzz around on.
Yeah, it's one of those like things that they have at Walmart with the little carts on it for people that don't walk very well, or people that are incredibly obese. We gotta follow up about an incredibly obese person here as well. But this guy, he's on a little hover round, I guess. Well, I swear there's a different name for that, but anyhow. And
Scooter?
He's in an alley. And what do you do in alleys? All right, you do some drugs. No, he's not doing that. And then you fucking get your dick sucked by prostitutes. Check. So check. He's getting his dick sucked by a prostitute. And it looks like the dude's got some sort of palsy or something like that. Like, he's got some shit going on. Like, and he's in that little hover round, and he's kind of like tilted off to the side. And there's some little crackhead just in there fucking slurping on that little fucking palsied cock of his. And she's going at it. And then this guy walks up with his, he's got the cell phone. So it's the guy taking the video. So he walks up. Oh, come on. Oh, fuck, dude. Sproles almost had that.
Yeah, there's a flag, though. There's a flag.
But anyhow.
Talking about referees rigging games.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
The fucking Eagles are getting face fucked right now, too. But anyhow. So he's getting his dick sucked by this little crackhead, and the guy walks in with the cell phone camera, and he's like, "Hey, you can't be sucking dicks back here." And then this lady, like, she doesn't even think about it. Like, she just gets up and just scurries, like like a fucking cockroach when the lights come on, all the way down the alley. And then that guy's just sitting there all palsied out with this fucking cock hanging out of his pants. It's like...
He's pissed, man. He's pissed. I'd be pissed too, man.
He's pissed.
I'd be fucking pissed too. You know how long it took me to get this crackhead to convince her to suck my dick for like $40 or 20 pounds? It took me a long time to find this woman.
I don't know, man.
And now you're ruining my shit.
I've seen a few of these undercover TV shows where I saw a guy bargaining with the prostitute for how much she was going to suck his dick for. And the prices were unreasonably low. Like, unreasonably low. Where it was like $7 and like 4 cigarettes or something. And then they got to arguing about how many cigarettes it was going to be and some other shit like that. So, I don't know. I mean, you can get your cock sucked by the right person for an unreasonably low price.
Yeah, but you're going in as like an adult male. This guy's in a fucking scooter, like buzzing around, and he can't use words. So it's like, how long did this negotiation process take place? Like, this guy's working hard for this. It's not like you and me are coming in with like a 20, like, hey, cracky, come here, cracky. And you just give her 20 and then you get your dick sucked. It's literally this guy's like struggling. It's probably a 45-minute project just to get this lady on her knees and opening up her teethless, toothless mouth.
I'm sure there was
and then
like
you got
a,
this
like
guy
a,
ruining it.
I'm sure there's like
Cock
a
blocker, man.
one of those little like notepads where it just scribbled suck dick $10 or something like that. And he just walks around on the scooter and then just like shoves that in various crackheads' faces. And then eventually someone's like, "Yeah, man, I got you. Go ahead and whip. Go,
I got you,
go
Brett.
ahead and whip
I got
that little
you.
palsied cock of yours out, man. Let's get this done. Mama needs some smokes. Mama needs some smokes. Let's get
Menthol,
in,
son. I need to fucking surge and yeah. Anyways, let's get out of here.
yeah, so let's get into a couple of these earlier games. Chargers at the Chiefs. Big comeback by the Chargers on Thursday night. They moved to 11-3. Chiefs fall to 11-3. And the big takeaway from this is regular season Andy Reid is starting to fade. Like it's like a fucking werewolf, like the moon's coming out. And postseason Andy Reid is starting to show his ugly face because the fucking Chiefs were up big time late in this one. And Chargers, Anthony Lynn, he went for a 2-point conversion to win the ball game. Hey, it always feels good when it works. Just like getting your fucking palsied cock sucked in an alley. But when it backfires on you, you got questions to answer, just like that guy did. But hey, it worked out for Anthony Lynn. He showed some nuts. Phil Rivers, MVP talk right now.
He's playing great. I would be excited for an LA Rams, LA Chargers Super Bowl. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, that way everybody cannot care. That would be the Super Bowl that people have cared less about than any other Super Bowl in the history of Super Bowls. Two teams without any real fans showing up to the biggest game of the year. Like that'd probably be, I mean, the Super Bowl is mostly like corporate tickets and other things like that. It's a destination sort of thing. But this got to be the fucking least attended or like the lowest ticket price for a Super Bowl within like the last decade if it ended up being those two teams.
And it's in Atlanta too, so nobody's going to go to that game. It's going to be completely empty.
Yeah, unfortunately the Falcons won't be there to let their fucking hometown fans down like they always do. Sucks being a fan of any fucking professional football team in Georgia. Hawks suck, Braves suck, Falcons suck. But hey, you got the Atlanta Jitterbugs won the MLS Cup, so congratulations on that. You can use the Nutsack Trophy to fill that fucking Lombardi-shaped hole in your hearts. So Texans, they played yesterday at the Jets, 29-22. They ended up covering that 6.5. That was beautiful. Late cover there. Sam Darnold looked okay. Deshaun Watson. Well, I mean, Sam Darnold looked okay when J.J. Watt wasn't tossing him to the ground. Big fucking game from Watt. And I'll tell you what, the Texans, they're going to make it to the playoffs, brother. It didn't happen. Poker Guy version 1.0 was not correct. They're going to make it.
He wasn't right. And Vegas kind of knew, too. They had a 6.5 underdog, and the Texans barely covered. It looks like they are going to make the playoffs, so hashtag PG Tears. Send me your thoughts and prayers. But I'll tell you what, fucking 3 or 4 comment sectioners, they ain't getting very far, all right? They ain't getting far. You know, Bobby Feber, look at me and tell me in my digital eyes, how is this team even remotely comparable to the Chiefs or the Chargers, dude?
I don't think they're as good as either of those teams, but I do think they're probably on par with the Patriots. And when it comes to the playoffs, I mean, you're only playing one game. It's not like the NBA best of 7 where the best team usually wins.
They're faking it. They're faking it, dude. And have fun getting exposed by the New England Patriots, or any properly coached team. Fuck you, Texans. And most of all, fuck you, Bill O'Brien. All right? You guys get the Irish cream version of Marvin Lewis, and I hope you stay in Houston forever, all right? Enjoy the wins and the 20 minutes of playoff presence, Texans fans, because for the next 20 years of mediocrity, that's what you're getting, all right? 20 years of mediocrity, I'm calling it now.
Man.
Stay tuned for the next 20 years, all right?
Man, this Eagles game's starting to get tight. They're down 2 touchdowns, but they are rolling. Fuck.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's pretend like that's not happening. We'll avert our eyes for just a few moments. Browns at the Broncos. Browns moved to 6-7-1. Hey, guess what, Green Bay Packer fans? You now have a worse record than the Cleveland Browns. Just wanted to inform everyone in Wisconsin about that. Browns, 17-16. Case Keenum. He was Case Keenum. And I'll tell you what, the big thing for this was Greg Williams did an ultimate Greg Williams, where at the end of that game, they had 4th and 1. Mayfield gave a hard count, drew the Broncos off sides to win the game. And Greg Williams did the another fucking boner move. Called timeout about 2 seconds before that. That play got wiped out. Then they try and run for it. They get stuffed. And eventually the defense ended up pulling through. But imagine how good the Browns are going to be once they get coaches that are not trying to actively fuck them over.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think the Browns actually won this game. Like if you really looked, they didn't play that well. They had a lot of mistakes. It just looks like the Broncos, like they shit their pants. Like they ate last night's leftover Indian food for like a pre-game snack, and in the middle of the game or towards the end, they just like shit their pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's classic Browns. All right, so talking.
No, I'm talking Broncos. But it's funny you say that because you think the Browns would be the one shitting their pants, but it's actually the Broncos. So the Broncos out shit the Browns.
That's a
We're
Randy
always talking about
Marsh
shit
like
here on the comment
9 curat
section.
turd delay. I mean that's a big turd to be laying
Yeah.
down if you're gonna out turd the Browns. So congratulations.
I saw a funny. I saw a funny one. It's called the Brownies. They just needed a baker. So all the Browns fans are circle jerking each other right now. But it's not like they're going to make the playoffs because the Steelers won anyway. So they're not making they're not taking a wild card spot. So you guys are making the playoffs. So you guys are all celebrating for no reason. So congratulations, Browns! You beat the Broncos.
Oh shit! God
Touchdown,
damn it.
baby!
All right, so the Rams.
Look at Jim Schwartz. He's like, fuck.
Oh no, this is all unraveling. It's all unraveling on me right now. There's 4 minutes left, and the Rams are about to be down 7. Jim Schwartz, he's saying the same things that I'm saying, but probably worse right now. Oh god damn it! Let's go, Nick. Let's go.
That's not a touchdown.
Get it together.
The replay.
I'm struggling, man. I am struggling right now with my emotions. I'm struggling as much as Nicole from season 5, episode 9 of My 600-Pound Life was getting on that hotel bed. So for those you haven't seen this, the episode, we'll go ahead and we'll vamp a little bit here, kind of see what Nikki does on this next possession, or even if that guy got in. But anyhow, so this lady Nicole, she's hanging out with her family in a hotel room, and they've got a hotel bed that she is struggling to get onto. So I don't know. I've never really watched this show. After seeing a couple of these clips, it's like I think I'm gonna probably check it out. But this lady, she is in the hotel room with her. I don't know. I don't even know. Like she got a lot of like a lot of family members with her. I don't know what they're doing, but they are trying. There's not a lot of context to this. But she's very large. So, I mean, she's, I guess, approximately 600 pounds. I mean, I don't know if that's like a hard criteria to be on the show, but she has a lot of struggles kind of getting on this hotel bed here. So go ahead and describe her struggles a little bit for me.
A good way to describe her physical appearance. If you look at her from the front, she looks like a circle. If you look at her from the side, she looks like that same circle. Okay, so now you know what she looks like.
So she's spherical. She's very spherical. But they've got one of these. I've got a very similar bed frame on my bed. It's just one of those metal bed frames that have like little wheels on it. And she does. She's trying to get on it, but she's trying to get on this bed. But her center, so she's got no lift. Like she's a white lady, so I don't know if that plays into it. White people, we can't jump very high. But like she's got no hops, and she tries to kind of, I don't know, tip, I guess for lack of a better word, kind of tip onto the bed, and that doesn't work. So she starts to go down, and she falls and catches herself. So as she kind of falls and catches herself, she's okay. So I'm kind of watching this in real time. So she's trying to lean onto it backwards, and she falls on there, and she starts gasping for air, and she's like, oh my god, the bed moved, the bed moved. So this guy, I mean, is that guy like her boyfriend or her?
It looks like her boyfriend or her husband. He seems much nicer than you or me would be in this.
There's
situation.
2 kids involved here. Do you think those are her kids?
All I know is that when she sat down, that kid almost went flying because he was on the bed, listeners. Okay, so he's on the bed on the corner. When she tries to roll onto the bed, it's like a fucking trampoline. It looks like it's like he's on a trampoline right now. He almost went flying. Thank God he's okay.
Thank God. Thank God he's okay. And so she didn't make it on there. And now they brought a chair over for her to sit down on. She's sitting down and she's like fucking sweating. Like sweating. Just sobbing. Like I can't if you haven't figured out we're some fucking assholes on this podcast. But that's the way it goes. It's not the place to be if you're not able to deal with that stuff. So she starts shitting on this dude and she's like, you're not being supportive. Everything's his fault. And he's like, fucking lady, I was getting all the bags, man. He's like, what do you mean? She's like, you were being lazy, lollygagging. He's like, dude, I was getting all the fucking bags. And she starts complaining about how she almost hit the ground. She's like, I had to support all my weight. It's like, dude, yeah, it's your weight to support. It's your weight to support. And so eventually what they're going to do here, and this is actually pretty creative. I don't know if I would have fucking thought of this. Little Jaden's crying. So little Jaden's in tears over the whole thing. So they move her out of the way. They move her onto this thing. And what they do is they actually tip the entire box spring and mattress up. And they take the bed frame out of the bottom of it. And lean that up against the wall. So what that does, that brings the bed down, I don't know, about another 6 to 8 inches. So now she got the center. There's two good things that happens. She got the fucking center of gravity a little bit, she can get that over there. And then the fucking bed frame is not as mobile underneath there. So spoiler alert, she made it onto the bed. Maybe one of the last beds she ever sleeps on. But
the funny part is she's like, why would they put wood on a floor in a hotel? She's pissed. This is one of her meltdown moments, and her husband/boyfriend, his response is killer. To make it look nice.
So this guy Donut on YouTube's like, hey, why is this guy dating a living rotisserie chicken with anger issues? It's fucking brutal. That's brutal, man. So that's as brutal as his comments.
The comment section is, we've got a little comment section in all of us, So we enjoy this type of shit. I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure she's lost her weight by now. She's living a very keto friendly life and she's hashtagging her way to victory. But
she probably got craned out of there like Ricky did. Like our good friend Ricky. So for those of you that don't know Ricky, go ahead and listen to our NFC North podcast. So go back, listen to the NFC North preview, and go to wherever we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings. We got a great section on Ricky there. So Ricky's very similar sort of fella to this lady, and he loved these frozen taquitos, presumably from Costco, because otherwise I don't know where you get them in the bulk that you need them to get them to fucking get Ricky up to the weight that he needs to get up to. But
they're delicious.
He loved those goddamn.
So don't make it. Oh, they're good though. They're good.
They're good. They're good. I mean, I'm about to fucking have a heart attack here. Nick Foles going in. 4 minutes left in this Sunday night game. If you don't hear from us on Thursday night, you'll know what happened. You'll know I got out the grieving mortar and pestle and took it a little bit too far. Jim's got the white mortar and pestle. He's going to ship me the black one if needed. But if not, hey, we got the Super Bowl MVP trying to win this thing. You'll find out, same as we will. Poker guy, you got closing thoughts before we go get in front of this thing, watch the end of it?
No, man, just send me your address because I'm going to give you a $22.99 copy of this, my 600-Pound Life Season 5. I'm going to send you that DVD. So you'll have something to watch.
Something to cheer me up. I may be heartbroken. And I'll tell you what, though, that fucking plus 14.5 is going to cover. So I will.
No, you're good. You'll make some money.
I will not be that heartbroken no matter what happens. I am rooting for Nick. I'm not an Eagles fan, so I don't really give a shit. But they scored 30 points, so I won't be on him either way. All right. So it's not Nick's fault. And or it is all credit to Nick for winning the game. All right, everybody, have a great week. We'll see you on Thursday as we preview, very sadly, Week 16 in the NFL.